What's up, all my YouTube friends? This is Matt Mrozic, aka MVM3097, with one of two resin resin kit reviews for you today. The first one is from Paul Gill. His company's name is Gillman Productions, and you can contact him on Facebook. I'll put a link down below in the description. This is the Viking. It is a 1/4 scale bust sculpted by Joe Simon, 2016. So he sculpted this last year, and Paul just started producing this about, I guess, a month or two ago. And I saw it in resin, or I saw the initial castings, and I said, oh, that's pretty cool. But then I saw paint up, and as soon as I saw someone paint it up, I had to get it. It's just really cool. So this is a 1/4 scale bust. It comes in 4 pieces. You've got the bust, you've got the base, which is really kind of nice. This is kind of, and I'll get to the review in a second. Bust, base, and then you have this battle axe, which is in 2 pieces. Paul Gill is also the same producer who produced or casted the 11 busts I did this past summer, and those are those. So I think everyone saw those. Those girls is real happy with those. So this guy on the base, once you get him on the base, he is, I think, about roughly 8 3/4 tall, 8 3/4 inches. Yeah, right about 8 1/2, 8 3/4 inches. Now the axe, when you do put it on his back, it does stick up a little bit, but we're gonna say 8 3/4 inches. So let's get into the review of this awesome looking piece. So first of all, the sculpt is really amazing. You know, being relatively new to figure kits, I'm learning all these new names of sculptors and producers and stuff. So I've got a little issue with buying bust kits now, because I have found out that the busts are really nice to do in between or during these really long mecha projects. Because I could, like this guy, I can probably not, now that I've done a few busts, I could probably knock him out in 2 days. If I had 2 full days, I could get him knocked out. So it's a nice quick paint up. Not a whole lot of building involved, but painting, which is the part I really enjoy, just to break up the monotony of working on the same kit for, you know, 3 or 4 months. So anyway, 4 parts, about 8 3/4 inches tall. Like I said, produced by Paul Gill, same guy who produced the 11 kits. And the 11 busts, and I said this before, when I got those, I was really happy with the production of those. There was a very minimal mold line that needed to be cleaned up, and it took me probably 20 minutes on those kits. So let's get into the meat of this kit. The sculpt is fantastic. The beard is really nice. I love the fact that Joe sculpted in the texture in the skin. So he's got like hair follicles where he's been shaved. So that'll take, you know, a nice wash, real nice. So those details will pop out really nice. This is I think this is fur. I don't think this is his hair. The fur on his armor is really well done. Got this nice armor here, nice belt, which has some fur details sculpted into it. So you can really go to town on just bringing out all this really nice surface detail that Joe got in his sculpt. The base is done just as well. And it looks like the root of a tree, kind of tree roots over like a wooden crate, which is really cool. So again, you can go in here, it's even got some rivets molded in there, really nice. The bust fits, I mean, damn perfect right into the base. Now it is a little loose right now because it's not pinned, but once you pin in epoxy, that is not coming off. The axe itself is pretty simple. It's not too elaborate, but it's done very well anyway. So here's the shaft, and you got the texture of some wood in there for the handle, and it looks like maybe some leather strapping, and this could be like a hammered, I don't know if they would have used, I guess that's not bronze, I'm not sure. I have to do some research on what kind of metal would be on the bottom there. Anyway, done really well. So the kit itself is beautifully sculpted. Now let's get into the casting of the kit. So this guy's hollow. He's been rotocast. He'd be pretty heavy. Actually, it's a good thing he's rotocast, because if he was solid resin, I don't think he would stand up on this base. I think he would fall over. So the base is solid, and this is rotocast, and he's still pretty hefty. Now, as with the 11 bus that I got from Paul, the casting on this is damn near perfect. All the details are retained very, very well. I was looking at this last night, and I have one little, I mean, it's minute, and I don't even know if this is an issue. Sorry, my light's about to fall down. I don't even know if this is an issue or just part of the sculpt. And you may not be able to see it in camera. Let's see if I can get some light on it. So Paul sent this to me without any cleanup, and I personally prefer it when a kit manufacturer doesn't do any cleanup. Sometimes they go a little crazy trying to hide a mold line, and they remove detail. I rather have a little extra work myself fixing a mold line than trying to go back and have to resculpt a shape or detail. But right here in the beard, I can't tell if again, I may not even show in camera, if like the tips of the beard broke off, or, I mean, it's so minor. There's like a little spot right here where it looks like maybe a tip of the hair broke off. But as far as cast, that's like my only gripe. This is done really, really, really well. The mold line, again, is just like on the 11 bus. It's like, it's barely there. You know, with any casting, you're gonna have a mold line, but Paul does a really good job of placing the mold line in a way that not only is it very negligible, but it's easy to clean up. I mean, you know, any bus that has hair, you're gonna have a mold line going through the hair. But Paul did a really good job. I mean, his casting is really, really, you can barely see it right there. So, you know, like the 11 bus, I assume this will take me 20 minutes, 15 minutes to kind of clean up that little bit of a mold line. So the mold line comes from, let's see, you can see it in the head there a little bit. And just like the 11 bus, he placed it behind the ear, which is a really, really smart move because, you know, on the 11 bus, I didn't even clean up behind the ears. On one of my, there was a bubble in the ear to fix it, but the mold line's right in the crease of the ear, so you can't even see it. It comes down the neck barely, and then once it gets into this fur here, it gets lost. I can't even see it in the fur. So he did a really good job of like following the texture of the fur with the mold line. So the mold line, it's interesting. It doesn't go straight across. It kind of comes like over his shoulder. If I look really, really, really hard, I can see it in the fur. I mean, I don't have to fix it, but it comes into the fur, comes up back behind the ear, top of head, you know, top of the head, right across the hair. You know, it's got to go somewhere, and then it comes down around this way, and then back into the fur. So instead of just taking this guy and just cutting him right in half, which a lot of, I think, casters would have done, which would have put a mold line through all of this detail, and then like through the face and over the, I mean, that would have been a lot of work to clean that up because there's so much freaking detail in this thing to get in all those little nooks and crannies. But where the mold line is placed is done very well to ensure minimal cleanup. So what I'm going to do, we're on the 11 bus, I try to clean up the mold line first and then prime it. I think what I'm going to do is going to throw some primer on this guy and then try to clean the mold line up, because on the 11 bus, when I cleaned the mold line first, and I thought I had it all good, you know, good to go. Once I threw a primer on it, I could see that I didn't get it all. So once he gets the bath in Purple Power, I'll prime him up and throw some primer on him. But so Purple Power, then prime him. But really, really beautiful sculpt, a great cast. I paid $83 shipped. Now, to give you a sense of size, the 11 bus here are a quarter scale also. Now remember, she's a female, so she's going to be smaller. But here you go. He's pretty good size for a quarter scale, in my opinion. You know, but really, really nice job. This 11 bus looks a little bit bigger because she's got a wig on, but again, size comparison, 11 quarter scale to her or to him. And he's a little bit bigger, but you know, he's a guy. He's a big burly Viking, so he's going to be a lot of fun to do. And I'll probably use him as a little break between doing these mech kits. So you get the 4 pieces like this, about 8.5 inches tall, and then, you know, the way the axe goes in, it's got a nice little groove in here. You can pin, you know, I'll pin it so when I want to transport this, it comes off. You'll have to pin the axe head to the shaft, no biggie, pretty simple. And the casting on this is done very well also. Let's see. You know, the mold line is right down the middle of this, so that'd be super, I mean, it's, again, barely visible, it'd be easy cleanup. On the shaft, you really don't have to worry about the mold line in the wood grain because it follows the wood grain, so you have a little bit of a mold line just through this leather bindings. And then on this side too, so he did a 2-piece mold. I'm not a mold maker. I've never attempted. I wonder if this could have been done in a 1-piece mold. It may have been hard to get out of the mold and just, like, you know, cut down one length of it. That way you only have one seam line to deal with. Paul could answer that question. So Paul, when you see this, let me know if that would be an option on something like this. I don't know. I don't make molds. But that's, again, my only crit is I can't tell if this little piece of fur is broken off or if that's just the way the sculpt is. Other than that, I mean, this is like casting quality is a 10 out of 10 easily. Sculpting 10 out of 10 easily. Just really, really nice piece. And I think for the price of what it is, I think it's a good buy. So I'll put a link down below to Paul's Facebook page. Give him a shout. He's really good to respond back very quickly. And if you're interested in the 11 bucks, give him a shout out about those too. Nice pieces. And as always, this is Matt Mrozik, aka MVM397, signing off. Thanks for watching. Bye.